Hey guys, welcome back to No Nut Clarity. This is Trenton. I'm actually making this video today on my birthday to talk about a topic that has been plaguing me for a long time now, and it's one that I feel like many other guys, especially people who are not as haven't had a lot of experience in relationships, and the topic's about holding on and moving on. So to best talk about holding on and moving on, I'm going to talk about my own experience involving that. And a lot of it has to do with relationships. Now, I'm 28 now. Today's my birthday again. Yeah. But I've had a grand total of a whopping 2 relationships. So, definitely not a player. But the first one was a mostly like 99% text-based relationship, long distance, and the second one was an actual in-person real relationship. Both were real in its own rights, but at the same time, what topic today is about holding on to relationships and just holding on in general and having a hard time moving on. For me, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I very much invest a lot into the person that I'm with, to the point where if there's pullback, I ending up doing more and end up devaluing myself for somebody that's losing value in me. And as a result, I end up, when everything kind of just like goes to shit and relationship ends, I'm still holding on to it while the other person's already moved on. And it happens a lot. I'm not saying it's a guy or girl thing, it's an everybody thing. And for me, I held on to the first one for, I want to say it started in 2013, ended about a year later, and from 2014 to 2020, I was just in a really on and off depressive rut. Like, I dropped out of college because of it, ended up missing out on a lot of social opportunities because of it, and just was just spiraling in a downward slope in life because of it for a long time, because I did not know how to simply just move on and get over it, and not recognize that this person is no longer in my life, no longer values me. So why am I putting so much stock into somebody that's no longer there? And because I forgot my own value and ended up like putting so much value into somebody that no longer values the relationship or what we had or had ended, I ended up just becoming a shell of my former self. And I'm not saying that person's invalid. Like, some relationships just don't work out. Some people just aren't meant to be together, and that's okay. Or sometimes people just aren't meant to be together at that time, and maybe in the future they'll come back. Don't put all your money or your eggs in that basket. But I'm just saying things may not work out in that moment or ever. But at the same time, if they're not working out, you still have to have room for yourself. Because before the relationship, you didn't even know that person existed, most likely. Before that relationship, you were pretty much, I want to say, in most cases, a lot of people are usually good before they get into a relationship. And then afterwards, they're bad. So remember how you were. Because for me, I didn't remember who I was at all after the relationship ended. And of course, don't just be the person you were, but also be a better version of yourself. For me, I definitely did not elevate immediately after that first one, being depressed for 7 years. It took a lot of time thinking, being depressed, and overthinking, and almost hurting myself, to end up realizing my own value and going like, hey, wait a minute, why am I so stressed out with this person that doesn't really have anything for me anymore? I need to get my own life better. And around that time in 2020, I stopped working at FedEx and started looking for IT jobs, and actually found one. I'm good with computers. Found one, started getting my life back together, and it made me better. I started making more money, feeling better, that I'm accomplishing things, and just doing good. But it took a lot of time to get to that. And then comes my next relationship years later, where I'm doing good on my like high confidence and whatnot, just feeling good about myself. And I ended up doing the same shit. I ended up The relationship lasted, it wasn't even that long when I think about it, but at the same time, it still meant a lot to me. Regardless of the person, I'm still going to, if I'm with them, I'm going to do my utmost for them, but I also had to learn how to reel it back in. That was one of the lessons I learned. It's like to reel it in and not just give all of yourself to the relationship when it's not clear if it's going to have a future or not. So with that second relationship, it definitely went on strong for a little bit. May have burned a little too bright in the beginning, but I'm not here to talk about that. But when it ended, I didn't really cope well. For the person that it ended with, I really tried to make it seem like I was okay and everything was fine and that we're just going to be on great terms. There's nothing I need to talk about. And in the back of my head, I'm just like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I lying to myself and essentially lying to her, trying to say everything's fine when it's really not, only for her to move on just fine. And I'm still stuck months later, still wishing the relationship was there and still pondering it, and ended up making a mistake that resulted in us no longer being able to talk anymore. And it's because I held on and didn't bother trying to move on from it that I ended up ruining things for myself and for that person and for other people that care about me. Because when you don't move on and start devaluing yourself over somebody else that no longer is in that type of bond with you, then you're only going to be hurting yourself in the long run. That person's going to be long gone, moved on, and living their life while you're still living a life that's attached to a person that's no longer with you. And this is not to go after those people. This is about, focusing on yourself and your responsibility to yourself and recognizing your own value. Because when that person leaves, that bridge is burned and whatnot, you still would like to live. They may not give a shit about you anymore. And you have to realize that. You have to realize if something in your life, like logically, if something in your life that you had is no longer there, then it's not contributing to you at all. So there's no point in focusing so much time and effort on that when you need to start valuing yourself and being around people that value you for what you see in yourself. Of course, it's not just easy. If it was just easy just to flip a switch like that and just be like, oh, I suddenly don't need that person anymore. I'm good. And some people are just like that, but not everybody's like that. If people weren't like that, I wouldn't be making this video. But at the same time, it's not as easy. A relationship ending sometimes can be treated as like a death, where you have to kind of just mourn it. You're going to be sad for a little bit. But at the same time, you have to learn and think logically and think like, this person is no longer benefiting my life in any way. I need to focus on what benefits my life. What do I want to do? What's my purpose? Who motivates me or values me in a way that I feel motivated? I feel like I'm the person that I want to be around these people. I fit in. And just think about those things for yourself, because I sure as hell didn't for a long time, and it damaged me. Thankfully, I'm recovering and healing from that. I'm not perfect. Hell, I'm still hurting from the last one and still trying to get myself right, but I'm doing a lot better. Again, not perfect, but a lot better. And I just want you to know that I'm making this video for any of you out there, whether it be a male or female that's struggling with this type of issue, that you are valued. You have value in yourself, and the people that you talk to that motivate you, that care about you, that see your value, see your worth, do not take them for granted. Because while you're focused on somebody who, you're focused on Aaron or Brittany down the street who is already moved on, had like 3 relationships right now, you've had like your friend group of 8, 9, 10, 20 people all asking about you, and you're just ignoring them because you're so focused on that person who no longer even talks to you. So don't devalue yourself or the people that value you for somebody that no longer values you currently. I'm not saying it's impossible to maybe reconcile with that person, but at the same time, you have to realize that that person's no longer a positive influence on your life. It's only breaking you down, and you have to move forward. It's not easy. That's what I'm talking about, because it's not easy for me either. And I feel for you. And I want you to get better. We're both going to get better together. And just know this message is made with the best of intentions. With that being said, thank you so much for listening to my rant. Hell, thank you so much for listening to it on my birthday. I mean, even if it's not my birthday, you're listening to this message. Thank you for hearing me out. I appreciate it. It's not easy to talk about a lot of these things I talk about on the videos, but I feel secure enough as a person to be able to share these experiences in hopes that it helps other people. And I want you to have an amazing rest of your day, you beautiful girl or handsome man. And this has been Trent from No Nut Clarity, making this video on my birthday. You have a good one, 'cause I know I sure am. And peace.